Hey there, Devonshire, how are you? I'm so glad that you guys have tuned in for this Biz Spotlight video that we have. Now, this particular episode is going to be great because we haven't had really an interview with someone like yourself, and this is going to be a new industry that we can introduce to all of our great neighbors that we have within our community. So I don't want to take up any other time than getting a chance to introduce this fellow right here. So go ahead and tell them your name and tell them the name of your business.
Yeah, of course. So my name is Will Davis. I work for Greater Therapy Centers. I'm a physical therapist, and I'm actually located here in Forney and live in the Devonshire area. So nice to meet all y'all.
Right on. And they're new to the community. So
right.
This is going to be a good chance for him to meet some of you guys also as well. Now, Will, do me a favor. So tell us a little bit about the services that your clinic will provide.
Yeah, of course. So like I said, I'm a physical therapist. So as far as services, I said earlier, I consider myself to be a musculoskeletal expert. With physical therapy, we do lots of various treatments. So the primary service that we like to offer is, first and foremost, corrective exercise. A lot of the patients that we're seeing, they're in pain or they have limitation in, some type of movement that they do. So corrective exercise, definitely the first thing we do, whether it's stretching, working on some flexibility or mobility, things along that nature. As well as, not just doing exercises, but doing hands-on techniques as well, whether I'm using my hands to do something on you, take you through an exercise, or using some type of device or instrumentation to assist you with that.
Wow. I think I'm going to need his services because I promise you, when I get up in the morning, everything from the waist down cracks, I'm telling you. So, I might have to get with you, Will.
We'll be glad to take it.
Right on. That'll definitely work. So, tell me how you got into this field, because this is a very interesting field. I know it's got to be a field that a lot of people, whether they knew they needed it or not, they probably need to stop by, because what I know what I have experienced, I'll say it that way, we learn to live with certain things that go on with our bodies, not understanding. You could correct it if you saw the right expert. So tell me a bit about how you got in this field.
So my story about how I got in the field was, I got into exercise science early on in my undergraduate studies at the University of North Texas. Along that time frame when I was graduating, I got into personal training.
Okay.
And while I was doing training with individuals, clients, I noticed that, hey, I could work with somebody if they were healthy and didn't have an injury, but if I had a client that, my back's hurting, shoulder injury, all those things that come along with just wear and tear on the body, I didn't necessarily know what to do with them. So that really sparked my curiosity as far as, let's look into rehabilitative services, let's look into physical therapy. And then shortly after doing some observation in the setting, learning about what it all entails, it was done deal. I loved it. I loved the interaction, working one-on-one with people, learning about their story, because everyone has one.
Yeah.
Everyone has experiences and their own memories that they go through, and I get to spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a week with those people, just working with them and learning about them.
Wow. So that's amazing that you get a chance to connect with your clients, and it allows you to really start to understand people. That's what you're looking for at the end of the day with that type of thing. Now, with your clinic, do you guys accept people's medical insurance plans, or how does that go? You guys do accept those?
Yeah, that's a great question. So traditionally with physical therapy here in Texas at least, we accept all major insurances.
Oh, great.
Our clinic, something unique about it is we are affiliated with a hospital system. So a benefit that offers our patients is it opens up the insurance pool that we can accept. So if you get turned down from a different clinic, definitely give us a call. We do offer a wide range of insurances that we accept. But even if, maybe you have an issue with your insurance where physical therapy service isn't available to you, we try to work with patients. So we do have a self-pay rate or just a cash rate that we offer for people to still get you in, because again, we want to get people better. I'm in the business of trying to get people healthy and better regardless of the situation. So being flexible so you guys can come and see us is definitely high priority for us.
Wow. So in other words, no matter what your status is, he's the man to come and see, okay? So no matter what it is, because sometimes that's the first question that a lot of people will ask, well, do you accept my my medical plan? Getting that out the way to know that whether you have one or not, 9 times out of 10, you're able to work with them, that's amazing. And again, he's right here in Forney, so you don't have to drive far to be able to get the service and care that you would need. So that's really great. I think that's good. Now, what age group do you guys work with? I know that some clinics will work with, mainly elderly patients, or sometimes they're, high school kids. They get banged up all the time. What age group do you work with at your clinic?
So at my clinic specifically, I work with all age groups. I've seen the youngest patients being recently maybe 13 years old. By no means am I a pediatric specialist, but if it's an orthopedic condition, sprained ankle, joint pain, muscle issue, that during the evaluation I feel comfortable that I can treat that and it's within my specialty, I'll go ahead and try to offer that service.
Wow.
As far as on the other end of the spectrum, I've seen people up to 90 years old actually.
Wow.
So a wide age group, wide demographic, but again, it all goes back to the evaluation. If you're coming in with a musculoskeletal condition, your muscle, joints, or you had a surgery of that nature, and there's a question whether on your end or mine, if I can treat you, at least I'll do is I'll get you in with an evaluation, and if I feel comfortable treating you and think that I can offer the service that best fits you, we'll go ahead and roll with that. If I feel uncomfortable, I think you could get better treated somewhere else, I'm going to work with you to try to find a provider, right, or refer you to someone that can better treat you. Again, it all goes back to my philosophy that I want to get people better. I hope it's with me, but if it's not with me, I want to provide someone that can get you there.
And that shows that you care, which I think brings the passion to whatever industry a person is in, where it's just more than, I'm a robot, this is what I do. Like, there is passion behind what you're doing to give people the best life that they can possibly get out of it. So now, speaking of the best life, I have to ask you, can you share with me a testimonial of someone whose life has been changed by working with your clinic?
Yeah, of course. I have a really good example actually. So, like they said earlier, I recently moved here to the Devonshire area, the Forney area. So one thing that I really enjoy getting to do with patients is asking, hey, where do you live? Are you from here in Forney? And I found out that's a lot of my patients, they're moving here from out of state. I've met a handful of patients from the Devonshire area actually. And one particular comes in mind. Recently she came in, and sometimes as a therapist, you'll hear the story where they've been to therapy before, or they've been to several different providers, and they're just not quite getting the outcome that they want. Whenever somebody has that experience, first off, I want to ask, hey, was there something that they did that you really enjoyed, or was there something that they did that you didn't enjoy, and then how can we modify that based on the individual?
Wow.
One woman I was working with, she had some back issues, and again, one thing I really like to focus on is not just the therapy side and the exercise, but really the education that comes with it with patients.
Yeah.
Figuring out what can you do to learn about your pain, to learn about the issue going on. How can you take control over that through just educating you and working with me? Because that's honestly 50% of what it is.
Wow.
Through working with this woman, she was like, wow, there's just something about this clinic that's different from my previous experiences. I feel like you're really, listening to me, you're really taking the time to adapt the program to me specifically versus just putting me on the sideline, telling me what to do with the exercise or the treatment. And through that, she ended up having a really good outcome. Her back discomfort was getting better.
Wow.
She was learning things to do, things not to do, how to gradually progress herself through certain things and say, well, maybe I can't lift 100 pounds, but I can start lifting 20.
Yeah.
And the more I do that, then I can lift 30, and then I can lift 50. And that's kind of the process that you'll encounter at my physical therapy clinic. And now she loves it. She'll go in, she'll say hi to the front office, she'll say hi to me, and she's like, this is the place right here. I'm not going to go to any other physical therapy place. This is the place for me. So it was definitely an amazing experience for me. And as a therapist, she loved having those.
Yeah.
It definitely sparks that energy and that passion to keep on, working and pushing in the profession. So
that's great. I mean, I know a lot of people will make the statement, I know my body.
Right.
Sometimes we don't know our bodies until we get the proper education to truly understand our bodies.
Right.
And again, sometimes we know our bodies simply based on the limitations that our body is showing us because of the condition that it's in. This is giving a person an opportunity to actually push past where their body is, so they get a greater understanding of what their body is capable of versus I just know my body because of my limitations.
Right.
So that's amazing. Well, so Devonshire, as you guys have heard within this interview with Will, you know, if you are one of those individuals that you know things are just not the way they used to be, I know as we get older, I'm in my 40s and I know that I'm not the way I was in my 30s, and that was not that long ago for me, okay? You might want to go ahead and pay them a visit and see what's going on, or if you are one of those who have learned to live with the challenges that your body is providing to you, you might find the support that you're needing by going to visit their clinic. If you've got that football player who he can run through a wall and he felt like he ran through a wall, now he's not walking correctly, you definitely want to go and check this guy out, okay? But on all serious notes, this is a great opportunity for you to understand what business is in our community right here in Forney. You don't have to travel far to get to, and that's going to definitely be by going to visit his clinic. After this video, we will make sure that we have all of their contact information so you're able to reach out to them very quickly and get that assistance that you guys need. So, Will, thank you so much for doing this video interview and contacting me. Like I said, I'm excited that we got a chance to do this particular interview. And Devonshire, make sure that you go ahead and like this video. If you've got questions, go ahead and leave a comment question on the video. I'll make sure to get it on over to Will so then he can get in contact with you. Just go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. You definitely want to do that. Hit that bell icon so then you'll know when we've got new content. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. All right, bye-bye.